Blue Archive is definitely one of the games of all time, but it's a game with a whole lot of flair, a cast of genuinely charming characters, a story unreasonably good for a game such as this one, and I said the commute. Will you shut up? Blue Archive's gameplay is both easy to understand but also decently intuitive. You deploy a team of 6 students, 4 on the field, 2 supporting the team from off screen, each one having a unique special EX skill that you can use at the cost of a continually regenerating unknown blue source, with a neat animation to go along with it. Although each unit/student, as the game calls it, has a plethora of other skills, you'll be using these ultimate skills to turn the tides in your favor more often than not. These range from anything between calling in the cavalry, making lunch, or just simply being smart. There's multiple different modes you can launch your units into, from the main campaign to event missions, shootouts between different AI controlled or player controlled students, or, well, parades. Think of them like this. You're back in the mid to late 2000s with a potato computer you have that can just about run a game. You're going for a World of Warcraft raid against this huge monster with an insane amount of health of your guild, screeching at the top of your lungs as your healer disconnects from the voice call and messes up your rotations again. Now, think of these Blue Archive raids as that exactly, but instead of trying to manage your tank or your healer or whatever, you're responsible for everything. No more lag, no more different abilities. Each win and fail comes down to you. You're responsible for managing every single EX skill, every single buff and attack, and managing every single cost that goes into it. You're responsible for everything, just to get that higher place on the leaderboard. These raids, called Total Assaults, put you against some really interesting foes that also interweave with the story, which, trust me, I will be talking about later. A lot of the footage you are seeing are these same assaults. These showcase both the gameplay and character monster design to a really good degree. Each raid boss is different, their designs are different, from undead magicians to sprawling robots to eldritch beings. Each one has a different armor type, a different attack. Did I touch on that? Hold on. Right, yeah. Have this. Oh, I know it's lazy, but come on, it's not that hard to understand. The same color is just good against the same color is really all you need to know, so there's no... What? What do you mean? There's a new type? After 2.5 years? What? Effective? What do you mean effective? What does that mean? Why did you have to complicate things? We were having a good time. We were. What do you mean? So, this is news. Apparently, there's a new type that you could, I assume, expect from the new raids that might be coming in the future. The main draw of games like Blue Archive are its characters, and Blue Archive itself is certainly no exception. Each single one has a rich personality and background, amazing costume design, a team of dedicated people behind every... Let's not pretend that the questionable art isn't the most popular thing. There's so many online, and do you really expect an anime game of all things to not have art like that? They get thousands upon thousands of retweets and likes on Twitter. They get so much social media reach. Do you know how crazy that is? I don't think you understand. That's like 1 million views per day. They get this game onto trending every single day because some new characters out or a new event. It's a social manager's wet dream. They could have millions of profits, and it's all over a blood in a bunny costume. Okay, I think I'm normal now. Yes, there's no denying that the fans and the fan artists have boosted this game and many like it to almost unreachable heights, but for what it is, especially in the sphere of mobile anime gacha games, it's somewhat niche, especially when contending with giants like Genshin Impact and the other Hoyo newcomer Star Rail. But what keeps the players playing, the main goal of the product after all, is, you know, interesting stories and good character design. But there is one other thing. Oh, the gacha! Oh my, let me tell you! It's actually kind of forgiven. Now, before you try to dox me and burn me alive at a stake, I'm pretty sure there just might be a good chance I've been delusional in my experience, but I feel like this game is just genuinely more generous. The developers, Nexon, don't hesitate to hand out the premium currency you roll with. They're named Pyroxenes, or Pyros for short. You get 5 pools to even a whole 10 pools for maintenance or events, and a multitude of other items to help you progress and level up your characters. The gacha, like any good money siphoning microtransaction filled game, is thrilling. I might be colorblind, but even I can tell the difference between a rare purple roll and a common blue one. See? Right there, I just gotta read it, right? Right? Tell me I'm right. If you're anything like me and had the first real painful experience of grinding gacha currency through games like Epic 7 or through spamming spacebar through Genshin Impact events, these games don't give out as much as Blue Archive does. It's almost like a part-time job with them, but instead of getting paid, you're just rotting away in your gamer den, wasting precious moments that could be spent doing better. But, you know, it's fine, because you're getting the next best thing! PNGs and 3D models of anime girls, sinking your hard-earned money into that is the best thing! I love the dopamine hits! Is this how a gambling addiction starts? You can use these currencies to roll on different banners that rotate every week or two. They usually put the rate that you can get some certain character up and place them front and center on the banner. This is especially true with limited characters, those units that can't be pulled on any other banner except the one they're featured in. This makes them really rare and envied, and developers completely use this to their advantage by generating even more hype around them. Most gacha systems have a pity measure in place, because if they didn't, you're going to be pitying the lifeless bank account of yours after barely managing to get that one rare student. In Blue Archive, this game works on a spark system where you get points to exchange for the featured character if you roll on it enough. Other games do this differently, from 50-50s between a featured character or a permanent character that could appear at any time, to simply increasing the chance for the character to appear, or, you know, not having one at all. Of course, as is the norm with gacha games, you can pay to get more currency, but the thing is, I've spent a good chunk of my life on Blue Archive and I've not spent a single penny. I'm still doing well for myself in the game, though. I'm what's known as a free-to-player, F2P for short, and we make up somewhere around 80% to 90% of not just Blue Archives, but most gacha games fan bases. Their revenue comes from the big spenders, the whales, as the community calls it. But the more popular the game is, the more they offset the F2P majority by absolutely inordinate proportions. Well, I think it's time. Introductions are out the way. Let's hit the button. The story and the music are two of the most well-made things about Blue Archive, far more than the gameplay or the characters or the gacha system that I talked about before. Both are so immensely amazing, and if for some reason you don't want to listen to my warning before, please, I beg of you to at least see the story for yourself through a YouTube video or through a small compilation movie. After I recorded this, I also remembered there's also an anime coming out in the near future, so that's something you can definitely watch. Everything is available on YouTube and you will not regret it. The game takes place in the fictional city of Kavothos, also known as the Academy City. Most people residing there are disgruntled anthropomorphic adult animals or students studying in a variety of schools such as Trinity or Gehenna, inspired by different cultures around the world. You play as Sensei, well, that's what everyone calls you at least. You're from an organization called Shale, an organization formed just before the General School Council president went missing, basically the government of this world. Despite being given special authority and power, second only to the president, you continue to help students with their individual lives, and that makes up most of your escapades. These stories can be as exciting as dealing with powerful terrorists, or just as mundane as getting sweets out in the city. You're there for every single student, you're there for every single step, you're there for their lives. This can be seen through their bond stories and how they develop relationships with you. Even though you're so busy, even though your character is so busy, you still manage to make time with them. Because to them, you're their comfort, you're their refuge, you're their teacher, their sensei. And to you, they're the only students you have, so they're the most precious things in the world to you. Your resolve is tested as your students are put in the way of danger. A mysterious organization named Gematria made from adults beyond Kavothos, making abominations and monsters from beyond understanding. Schools begin falling out and war breaks out as guardian spirits rise from their graves. Your dreams get louder and your eyes fill with red as your loyal AI Arona begins to sense something is amiss. And as you're there, as the world starts to end, you're there to protect your selfish desire of protecting your students, using a power that continuously degrades you. You've been so engrossed in thinking about what you can do to protect others that if a barrel of a gun is put to your head, all you would do is smile and let the bullet rip through your skull. Blue Archive does a wonderful job in taking cliches and not subverting them, but following along with them and making them feel real out of all things. Blue Archive's style and appearance wouldn't necessarily lend itself to being a realistic story, yet as you sit there closing out the final episode of the next volume, you ask yourself, why are you crying? When you hear Hifumi at the end of volume 3 shout out the most cliche line known to man, there's still tears streaming down your eyes. To me, that's the magic of Blue Archive's story. The story isn't unique, it's riddled with cliches, but the reason why it's so good is that it feels real. You can connect to the characters, everyone has their own part to play, and everyone just seems human. No one feels flat or two-dimensional, everyone has a human flaw, and even the girl that says she's the most plain thing in the world is one of the most interesting characters. I will tell you this, Blue Archive's composers are geniuses, to say the least. They know how to construct and weave such incredible music for each situation that any character can be in. It's incredible. There is a reason that I've been using the OST for basically this entire video, it's just that good. In the same way, the reason why you're hearing the Blue Archive OST practically everywhere nowadays is because the composers have made such a versatile library of well-made songs for virtually anything that it'd be considered a waste not to use it. The story itself is presented in quite a boring format. It follows a traditional visual novel style with static images of the characters and a text box at the bottom. To be frank, it's quite a slow burn, and even with me screaming at you to read the damn story, I wouldn't really blame you if you got bored halfway through. Personally though, I really think that this style, this more boring, mundane style of telling the story is intentional, because when that text box fades away, when those images don't become static anymore and begin to feel alive, it just hits all the more different. One of my favorite little details about how the story is presented is through the scenario battles that happen spliced in through the story. Although the use of gameplay within the story is jarring at first, you start to realize that there's story happening within the gameplay, there's reinforcements backing you up, there's characters filtering in and story beats are happening as you play, and above all else, it really feels like you're their sensei leading them to battle, leading them to victory. I cannot stress enough how much I love Blue Archive's story. The silly parts, the fun parts all build up to such heights that when the tone shifts, when the cruise missile hits, it's the most cathartic thing imaginable. Blue Archive does such a good job of toying with the player's emotions that as much as the story is predictable, as much as every character is just a cliche, you still feel it. You still feel their emotions, their joy and their sadness, their pain and their laughter. The game aims to put you in the shoes of Sensei. You are responsible for them and not just some arbitrary character. You share in their lives and their emotions, and it breaks your heart as they suffer. You're not the best person, you're naive and oblivious, yet you're reliable and trustworthy in the face of adversity. You have power over virtually everyone, yet you choose to be human. You choose to be a guiding light in these students' paths. The game describes itself as a story kept within the heart, and in a way it's true. This is a story kept within the writer's hearts. This is a story kept within Sensei's heart, and both hope you'll keep it in yours too. Thank you so much for watching. It's been like a hard 3-4 days to do this, and I'm really proud of what came out, so I really hope you enjoyed the video. I'm really sorry it got so somber at the end. I just really wanted to convey how damn good the story is, but I'm probably not gonna do too many more like this. I might make 1 or 2, but it's not guaranteed. I'm probably gonna do an outtake or blooper video in a bit, so watch out for that. But anyways, thank you for watching. No need to like or subscribe, that's stupid, but I'll see you later.